How is Dixon and Lycett's fitness? Will they play? That's from Hinkley.
Scotty will play. Charlie won't play. Charlie hasn't quite come up, so we've just had him out there this morning, and he's not quite right to play, so we won't take a risk.
What assessment has been made on Dixon's adductor?
Just that it's an adductor injury that's we thought would be fine, and normally they are, but unfortunately for Charlie, he hasn't been able to get up and going at speed that we needed to. He's not far away, but we just couldn't take a risk being round one.
This one's from Andrew Capel as well. Any debutants this week? Is Mitch Georgiadis, for instance, a chance?
Good question, Andrew. Yes, Mitch is playing. Mitch is playing his first game, so that's exciting news for us as a footy club to have another first-round player come in and play his first game in round one, and we look forward to seeing what Mitch brings.
There's a couple here about current climate, how the team's feeling about playing in round one, and also, I guess, will we be travelling by plane, or how will that work?
Yeah, the boys. The boys, to be fair, quite up and about this morning, and we've had a really good session out there. They look like they're ready to play footy. They've been waiting a long time, as everyone expects, to have played round one. Obviously, the situation we face is really unusual, and we're just managing that the best we can. But I'm really confident that the boys, this morning are ready to go and play.
What about the 16-minute quarters? Do you think that'll affect usual rotations and the way you select the team?
Oh, it certainly has to. It has to affect every team, and you're taking probably somewhere close to 20% off game time, and you're dealing with similar rotations, similar numbers on the bench. So, I think that'll be really good for the game. To be honest, I think it'll create some genuine speed in the game and keep the speed there for a bit longer.
What can Port Adelaide fans expect to see differently from you and the team in the way that you go about playing?
Oh, look, I suppose for us, that talk around our efficiency going forward, and that's the stuff that we've worked lots on over the summer. Doesn't mean we're going to get it absolutely perfect, but our pre-season's been really strong. We're really happy with what we've been able to do against two quality sides. We're coming up against a side this week who have been in equally as good a form as us on their home deck. So we're going to have to be really sharp with our efficiency going forward. Otherwise, their pressure will put us under pressure.
Just on the team selection idea, how hard will it be to pick players from outside the team when there's no exposed Sanford form to go with? We'll come back to the next one.
I think early season's not too bad. I think early in the season, because we've all been doing the same sort of training, every club's had lots of preparation time. So I think early in the season, I think we're okay. But as the season goes, and we're not sure how long that will continue for, but we're going to have to manage that the way we can, and that will be to get opportunity to have those boys compete as much as we possibly can. But it's not perfect, but we understand, and our players understand our obligation, and that is to train and perform at our best when we get a chance.
A question from Tom Wren is just wondering the fitness of Brad Ebert. Will he play?
Yes, Brad's in the side, and he'll play. And he's been building his pre-season, and he's his last couple of games at under 23, and then also the second half against the Bulldogs. I thought Brad started to show some really positive signs. We appreciate that Brad's missed a lot of footy in the last 12 months, and we're helping him build back into the really consistent form that Brad Ebert's known for.
How serious is Jackson Mead's hamstring setback at the moment? When is he expected to be available?
Yeah, he's had another little nick. It's just one of those ones for a young player that he's just struggling to get over, and we'll be really cautious with that because, again, we don't have opportunities for those games to be played. That gives us an opportunity to make sure that Jackson's as best we can possibly get him before we put him at any risk, and that might mean he's another couple of weeks away, so we'll be very careful.
With the other leagues postponed at the moment, is there a risk of an imbalance of match fit players that are actually available if a mini draft does take place?
Yeah, well, you asked me a question I probably struggle to answer because I don't have all the facts, and the facts are I won't know some of that information until we get going. And from our point of view, I think we've got a really strong, healthy, fit squad most part, and we look forward to taking on the start of the season with the players that we've got.
It's from Max, but sorry if it's a personal question, Ken, but would you and the other coaches take a pay cut this year as per the article that Daniel Barrett's just released?
Yeah, that is a personal question, Max, and I don't think it's the right question to ask at this time. We're worrying about getting the AFL season away and making sure that our fans and our people get something to look forward to over the weekend, and starting tonight with everyone that's involved with football. I think the key question here is that we're trying to keep everyone up and about, and we're trying to create an atmosphere that's exciting to look forward to, and that's one we are trying to do.
A question from Neil Cross at the ABC. What have you made of the Gold Coast and the form that they've produced so far?
Been outstanding. Their start to the season, their pre-season. I'm sure they would be very happy with where they're at. Certainly, both sides have had good form through the pre-season, so it's going to be a really good game. And their speed that they move the ball with and the speed that they hunt the oppo with is a real challenge for us, and we just need to make sure we're up for it.
Well, here we go. How does Charlie Dixon's absence change the structure of the forward line?
Oh, it does a bit. I mean, he's obviously, he's a big key forward, and everyone's been talking Charlie up. And always, what happens, you get, you get a little bit optimistic about certain things. And albeit he's got a small injury, it's still disappointing not to have him there because we've had success with him there in the pre-season. But it opens up the opportunities, as we said, for Mitch to play and for Todd to play and for Westy to help us out in that area of the ground, and obviously for Brad to come in and play a role. But that's going to make us look a bit different. We get that, but we can't do much about it.
Will we go with a solo ruckman to start the year?
Yeah, we will. We'll go with Scott for the start of the season. Pete's in great form, Pete Laddams, that is, and he won't be far away. And if need be, we'd quite happily pick Pete. And that's why if Scott hadn't have got up this week, we would have been reasonably bullish about Pete playing.
Now, you talked a bit about Dixon not being there. So, what do you actually want to see from Mitch Georgiades this week, and who will be the real focal point in Charlie's absence?
Yeah, well, the focal point will be a mixture of the group, and that's what it has to be, and that's what we did. If you think back to last year, we dealt without Charlie basically for large parts of last season. So we're starting the year in a similar position, albeit we know we've got a much more positive outcome for Charlie. So that will be great. And for Mitch, all we expect from any first-time player is to go out there and just enjoy himself and jump at the ball and see what he can create and have some fun. He's got some structured stuff that every player plays under, but Mitch is he's in that lucky position as a first-year player. They get a bit of freedom just to go and play.
Any other debutants?
No. I'm just going through them. I'm just thinking on the hop, but no, we're not.
One about Jack Watts here. Is he set to play, or does he need more conditioning?
No, Jack's in the middle of conditioning still. He's he's working his way back. He was going really well prior to our family day, where he just gave his calf a little bit of a nick. But again, with no games on, we're very cautious about the way we prepare Jack, and we know he's coming back off a really significant injury.
Did any of the players in the last few days or the last period tell you that they weren't comfortable with actually playing?
No. Our players, are trusting the right people and trusting the people who are in charge of the medical situation that we face at the moment. And we've got great club doctors. We've got great people at the AFL who are making some great decisions, and they're not putting any player or staff members' health and welfare at risk. That's the challenge for us, is to be very, very aware of what the dangers look like.
Just going back to the travel side of things again, is the plan a chartered flight? How will that operate?
Yeah, we'll have a chartered flight, which basically will be us and our staff alone on that flight, and we'll fly up there tomorrow, and we'll stay in a normal hotel, which is we'll have some isolation around the floor that we're on, and we'll be no outside contact, so as safe as we can possibly be. We're doing everything we can with the AFL support to make sure that is the thing that we do well.
Theo's trying to be a bit of a clown here, but he said, what protocols are in place to ensure safety when you're on the Gold Coast, and will we visit Tom Hanks?
Yeah, someone's got not much to do, have they? They've got some limited time on their hands, and that's not what we've got.
Any other questions, guys? Happy to give you another 30 seconds or so. We've got nothing else. Oh, here we go. Playing in front of no away crowd, does that actually help when you're playing on the road?
Don't know. We're about to find out. No one's ever experienced this before, so it's a little bit of the unknown. And same for teams when you're at home. How does it make you feel? I think what we have had is that we've had great preparation. We've basically had 3 sessions a week for the last 4 months where we've trained just with ourselves. So we've had great preparation for what it looks like. It's just got to be like a training session for us, but with an upbeat and certainly a stronger desperation to make sure we end up in front at the end of the day.
Just the last call for questions, guys. Here we go. The Suns won 3 of their first 4 games last year and won both of their March games as well. How dangerous do you think it is to grab them early on in the season?
Yeah, I think everyone would expect that the Suns are really dangerous, and I don't just talk about early on in the season. They're a young, developing team, and they're certainly improving, and they'll continue to improve. Anyone in this game who sits back and thinks any game's any different to any other is a bit crazy, because our competition does it to you all the time. It's really strong. It's really hard. If you're not at your best, you get beat.
Is there any potential for players to be caught off guard mentally, given the strange build-up?
Look, again, they're questions that are really worth asking, but I can't really answer them too much, other than say our players are professional, our coaches are professional, and we're doing everything we can to make sure everyone's at their absolute best. But there's some reality in all this. So this is an unbelievably unusual situation that everyone finds themselves in.
One from Maxi here. What players drive the fun in such an unusual week, and is there more of an emphasis on forwards celebrating goals more, or anything like that?
No, we're really good at making sure we stay connected as a football team all through every week, not just an unusual week as we face now, but everyone works really hard to keep the environment up and about and upbeat. I mean, it's really easy for us if we can take away the viral side of the coronavirus stuff. It's round one. Bloody hell, you don't get more excited than you do in any footy season normally before round one, and usually it's before finals. You sense a change of mood in everyone when you come up to those parts of the season.
Do the cut-down quarters play into the hands of Port Adelaide's fast-play plan and also the Gold Coast?
Yeah, well, we don't know. We don't know how it actually operates. We haven't faced the times that we're facing this week, so we'll find out after this week. We'll get a better indication. We think we're prepared really well for a high-speed game. We like to try and play a high-speed type of game of football, so hopefully that gives us an opportunity to do that. But what I do know with that is the opposition are equally as fresh and got extra legs in there too. But round one it might feel okay. I'm not sure what rounds 2, 3 and 4 might feel like.
So you don't think that would lead to any more lockdown footy, perhaps?
No, I don't think. I think AFL have done what they could to make sure the game stays really attractive for people to see and watch. And by doing what they've done now with the conditions that we face, I think they've given it every opportunity to be as fast-paced as we can possibly make it.
I've got one here from Lee Gaskin. Apologies for asking this as it's a little bit personal, but do you expect the shortened season to have an impact on the clause in your contract that relates to making the finals?
I should answer that question like this, Lee, right from the very start. I'm not going to talk about it through the whole football season. I've got a responsibility to this football team and this football club to do my best to make sure the team is successful this year, and that's what I'm going to do.